In the world of reality television, few families have captivated the public's attention like the Duggars. For over a decade, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's large, faith-centered family became a household name. Their show, 19 Kids and Counting, was more than just a look into their daily lives. It was a window into a family living according to strict Christian values, in a home where every day seemed like a celebration of faith, love, and family unity. But behind the scenes, the Duggars' journey has been one of immense sacrifice, unrelenting public scrutiny, and personal challenges. In what can only be described as breaking news, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar have opened up like never before. Their latest revelations are not about another pregnancy or milestone, but instead focus on the price they've paid, emotionally, socially, and financially, for their years in the public eye. This is a side of the Duggars that fans have rarely seen. As the couple shared their reflections, the world got a rare glimpse of the realities of living under the magnifying glass of fame. A family like no other. The Duggars first captured the nation's attention in 2004 when their family was introduced on the Discovery Health Channel. They weren't just any family, they were a family of faith, commitment, and unconventional choices. Michelle and Jim Bob's decision to have 19 children, with the possibility of more, was met with both fascination and skepticism. The Duggars represented something different, a family that prioritized their faith, the sanctity of marriage, and the joys of large families. Their every move was watched, and every moment became an opportunity for audiences to engage with their values. Over the years, as the Duggars family grew, so did their fan base. People marveled at how they managed to raise so many children while staying true to their beliefs. The show captured moments of their lives, from mundane daily tasks like grocery shopping to exciting milestones such as weddings and births. But all of this, Jim Bob and Michelle would later admit, came at a price that they hadn't fully anticipated. The burden of public scrutiny. In their latest interview, Jim Bob and Michelle laid bare the emotional and psychological weight of living under constant public scrutiny. While fans were enamored by the Duggars' idealized family life, the couple revealed the toll this fame took on their relationship and on their children. "We never thought we'd be here," Jim Bob said, his voice steady but filled with reflection. "When we started the show, we thought it was a chance to share our faith and our family with the world. But over the years, the pressure has built, and it's been harder than we ever expected." Michelle echoed her husband's sentiment, adding, "Raising a family of 19 is hard enough, but when you do it in front of millions of people, the challenges multiply. We thought we were doing something good, something that would help others. But sometimes, it felt like we were living for the camera, and that's a heavy burden." While their show was intended to be a reflection of their beliefs and values, the constant attention forced the Duggars to make difficult compromises. Their children, many of whom were born after the show began, were thrust into the public eye at an early age. What was once a private family experience became something that everyone had an opinion on, often with little regard for the children's emotional well-being. The couple admitted that some of their children struggled with the constant attention. The pressure to live up to the image of the perfect family sometimes created internal conflict, especially for those who felt uncomfortable in the limelight. While some of their children thrived in the public eye, others felt alienated and misunderstood. "We've seen our kids go through real struggles," Michelle shared. "Some of them have loved being on TV, while others have felt overwhelmed by it. As parents, we always wanted to protect them, but sometimes the cameras were always there, and it's hard to shield your children from that." The strain on relationships. It's not just the children who have been affected. Jim Bob and Michelle's relationship has, at times, borne the strain of fame. Although they've remained married throughout the years, they both acknowledge that the stress of raising so many children in front of a global audience created challenges. Their strong faith helped them through, but they're honest about the fact that it hasn't. "We both felt like we were just going through the motions, trying to keep up with everything," Jim Bob admitted. The show brought us financial success, but it also took a lot of time and energy. Sometimes, we felt like we were living for the cameras and not for each other. The couple also spoke about the emotional toll the controversies and public challenges had on their marriage. The Duggars have faced their fair share of scandals, most notably the controversies surrounding their oldest son, Josh Duggar. The media scrutiny that followed Josh's legal troubles was relentless, and the family struggled to maintain their public image while dealing with their personal pain behind closed doors. Josh's situation was one of the hardest things we've ever faced, Michelle said, her voice cracking with emotion. It was a challenge for our family, and we've had to work through it as a couple. The world didn't understand, and sometimes it felt like we were being judged even when we were just trying to do the right thing. Jim Bob added, "We don't want to make excuses for anything that happened. It was a painful chapter in our lives, but we believe in forgiveness, and we believe in redemption. We've had to lean on each other and on our faith to get through it." The cost of fame, financial and emotional. While the Duggars made millions from their show, they were quick to point out that financial success didn't come without its own set of challenges. As their fame grew, so did the expectations placed on them. From appearances to interviews, there was always something that demanded their attention. Jim Bob and Michelle have long been advocates for living a debt-free life, but the pressures of keeping up with public expectations often meant saying yes to more opportunities than they were comfortable with. "There was a time when we felt like we couldn't say no," Jim Bob explained. "We were in demand, and it felt like every door that opened was an opportunity we couldn't pass up. But eventually, we realized that we were losing touch with what really mattered. Fame doesn't bring happiness if you're sacrificing the things that are most important." For Jim Bob and Michelle, the emotional cost has been just as significant as the financial one. The constant demands on their time and energy drained them, and they spoke openly about how the pressure to maintain their image often overshadowed their need for personal space and quiet reflection. "We've learned that fame isn't everything," Michelle said thoughtfully. "We've had to learn how to prioritize our family, our faith, and our well-being over the things that the world tells us should matter." A new chapter, moving forward. With their recent revelations, it's clear that Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar are in the midst of a new chapter in their lives. They have found themselves questioning the cost of fame and considering the future of their family outside the public spotlight. While they have always maintained that their faith is at the center of everything they do, they are now reevaluating what it means to live authentically, both in private and in public. "We've always believed in sharing our story to help others," Jim Bob said. "But we've come to realize that sometimes the best way to help people is to live our lives authentically and quietly without the need for constant attention." As the Duggars look ahead, they've made a commitment to prioritize their family's well-being and their personal relationships above anything else. While they're not walking away from their faith or their values, they are choosing to focus on what truly matters. "The journey has been long, and there have been challenges we never expected," Michelle concluded. "But we're grateful for the lessons we've learned. Our faith is stronger than ever, and our family is closer than ever. That's what matters most." In this latest update, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar have shown a side of themselves that fans may not have expected. One that is vulnerable, introspective, and deeply aware of the costs that come with living a life in the public eye. It's a reminder that behind the cameras, even the most seemingly perfect families face challenges, and sometimes, the greatest cost of all is the price of fame. Jim Bob, Michelle Duggar, Jana Duggar. Jinger become Jason Duggar, Jessa Duggar, related. For you recently uploaded watched.